In last year's playoffs, the Chicago Bulls served notice that they had become a team to be reckoned with in the NBA. Their 2 wins over the Pistons tested the eventual world champs' character and brought out the best in the Bulls. Now, when these 2 teams get together, the entire league looks on in anticipation of seeing basketball at its highest level. Tonight, the Palace will be rocking as the world champion Pistons take on the Bulls with first place at stake in the NBA Central.
Quality.
But last year in the playoffs was Rick Mahorn, very physical player. They lost him in expansion to Minnesota. Okay, but what they've done is elevate a guy that's been a dominant center against us, Jim, to the starting lineup.
James Edwards moves in and starts at that 4 spot. But you know what, John? I don't think it will be as effective against the Bulls as perhaps it's been against the rest of the league. Because last year in the playoffs, the Bulls were able to use Scottie Pippen on Bill Laimbeer, and they used Cartwright on Mahorn. I would think that Bill Cartwright would be more able to match up with a James Edwards.
I would think so, Jimmy, but where the Bulls really have to worry is from that backcourt line, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, and Vinnie Johnson, although he's not real healthy, and it got some help recently in Gerald Henderson.
I'll tell you what, the rich get richer, right? Now, Gerald Henderson, a veteran point guard who was on Boston Celtic championship team in 1981, has really brought more depth to this club than ever.
Well, that's what happens, I think, when you're a world champion like the Pistons are, Jim. You can pick up that veteran player. He doesn't have to play a lot of minutes, but you can have him with you and ready to go. He's a long-distance threat. He fits in well with this club. He's a good, hard kid, so I expect another rock'em sock'em battle from this team.
But you know what, Reg? Maybe we have put too much emphasis on this game. I don't think either one of these teams have put that much emphasis on this one.
You're right. They know it's a battle for first place, Jim, but if they leave it all out here tonight, it's a long, long season.
Especially where the Bulls are concerned, because they've got to stop in Indiana tomorrow night. They've also got a road game in Charlotte on Friday before coming home against New Jersey on Saturday. That figures out to the Bulls as 4 games in 5 nights in 5 cities. So the sellout crowd is here. We'll return to the Palace and have the starting lineups after these messages. The Bulls have won 8 and dropped 9 after losing on Saturday night to the Bucks in Milwaukee, which technically began this road trip. It's a 4-game swing for the Bulls. Tomorrow night in Indianapolis against the Pacers, and then on Friday night in Charlotte against the Hornets before coming home with the Nets on Saturday night, and then right back out on the road Monday afternoon against the New York Knicks. So it's a busy time for the Bulls with some tough opponents ahead. This Detroit team, of course, defending its world championship. And before the game tonight, I asked starting forward James Edwards if he felt the Pistons were right on court for defense of that title.
Well, this has been one of the hardest years of my NBA career because defending world champions, everybody comes at us like it's a playoff game. And the first part of the season, it took us a while to learn that the teams are going to come at us hard. So we have to step out our game a couple of notches, and it's worked out very well the last few games.
You got off to somewhat of a rocky start as a ball club, and yet when the change was made with you going into the starting lineup, that seemed to be the remedy.
Well, you know, I was in a little shooting slump at that time. I got in the starting lineup. My shot came back. They started going to me a lot. That puts a lot of pressure on the defense. If they double down on me, then I can kick it out to the guard. So it's worked out very well for us.
Pistons forward James Edwards talking about the change in the lineup for Chuck Daly. And, you know, this Detroit team, they're certainly not afraid of change. Last year, coming down the stretch, trying to win a Central Division title, and eventually go on to win a championship. They made the major trade with Dallas in getting Mark Aguirre over here. We've seen them, we saw them, I should say, the year before make the big deal with Phoenix to get Edwards here in the first place. And now, as you and I have mentioned, John, they saw that maybe they had a little bit of a weakness, so right away they snap up at Gerald Henderson.
Well, they picked up David Greenwood. Scott Hastings is a free agent in the offseason to go with him, so they've got some help here.
This Detroit club has also got balance in that starting 5 as we first of all take a look at the Bulls lineup tonight. The Bulls with all 5 players in double figures. Scottie Pippen at 1 forward, averaging 17 points a game. Horace Grant over 14.5 points a contest at the other forward spot. Bill Cartwright, who had I thought a fine game at Milwaukee the other night, averaging just under 13. Of course, Michael Jordan leads the NBA in scoring at 33.2, and John Paxson, who is in the top 10 in field goal percentage, averaging 10.6. But if Phil Jackson's club has an Achilles heel, it is the bench. A somewhat erratic bench populated by rookie players for the most part, and you should expect that. Mark Aguirre leads the Pistons forward tandem in scoring, although the bulk of their scoring comes from the guard line. Aguirre at 15.2, Edwards just under 11 a game, Lambier just under 12.5, and as Johnny mentioned when we went on the air, Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas, that is as fine a starting guard combination as you'll find in this league. Dumars, last year's playoff MVP, averaging 18.2, and Isaiah Thomas, even though in recent weeks he's been struggling in a shooting slump, he's still averaging 18 points a game.
Good job by their club. You're right, Jim. And they do have people that pound off the bench. They come in and they're not afraid to make a substitution. And really the nice thing that Chuck Daly's got going for him is that this man can take and play a guy, and if he's not playing, he puts somebody else in. If that guy's playing, he can set that starter down and not feel about hurting his feelings.
He has impact players. The officials tonight is signed by the NBA, Dan Crawford, Jack Neese, and Ronnie Nunn. And what I mean by impact players, that Dennis Rodman can come in and get every rebound over a stretch of a game. You know, Vinnie Johnson can come in and be the microwave. He can heat up and score immediately. And, of course, they've got Sally who can come in and defend and block shots. So Chuck Daly has players who can come off and immediately make their presence felt out there.
Building not really filled. They've got a lot of snow falling outside.
Full-blown storm is right.
It's sold out, but
Scottie Pippen controls that opening tip. Pippen burns to the hoop on Aguirre, and Lambier blocks the shot, and it's picked off the deck by Edwards. And now Pippen deflects the ball, but Isaiah Thomas dumps into Aguirre on the cut. Lambier for the layup.
it looked like Lambier was just trying to clear out of the way, Jim. He just went down a baseline and said, hey, look what I found. That really opens it up for a center, too. The defense has to step back a little bit on him when he drops it off.
Look at Detroit. Are they packed in? Packs it outside, shoots over Thomas, rims it no, and Edwards the rebound. The Pistons really packed in, giving the Bulls that outside shot if they want it. Dumars from the perimeter. 4-0 Pistons. The Bulls looking inside, and Horace Grant hits the outside jumper. That's what's going to have to be done.
Phil just hollered, go to Horace, top of the key, because Lambier's playing him real soft.
Here's Isaiah into Paxson. Rimming no, and Michael Jordan the rebound. Bulls back looking to tie. Jordan doubled out front. Pippen wide open. A left corner three try is in. And that, of course, is what the Bulls did in the playoffs here in Game 1, you'll recall, when they upset the Pistons.
Boy, that's right. That's what it reminded me of. That's the way it opened up with Scotty hitting some three-pointers out of the corner.
And Craig Hodges had a good day that day. Isaiah Thomas runs into Pippen, now takes in the lane. Lambier open. Here's Thomas. 8 to shoot. Thomas against Pippen, goes hard to the hoop. Left baseline shot, Dumars. Right through, and so the Detroit Pistons go in front 6-5. Detroit 3 of 4 from the field. Scottie Pippen looks in over Aguirre. Jordan. Outside shot, Grant. Rebound, Detroit. Dumars at the controls for the Pistons. Long jumper. Wow. Joe Dumars, 3 in a row, and the Pistons have an 8-5 lead.
He's got 3 shots from about a total of 60 feet.
He shot. He run those back-to-back. It's from here to downtown Detroit. Here's Cartwright. No good in the lane, and Lambier the rebound. Aguirre throws ahead to Thomas. Isaiah in on Paxson. Takes it across the lane. Right corner shot, Dumars.
Yep.
Book it. 4 in a row for Joe Dumars, and the Pistons have a 10-5 lead.
Dumars is shooting 48% from the field. Was coming in. That's going to add a little bit to it.
Actually, the Bulls have gotten better shots in this game than the Pistons. Sometimes it goes easy early. It's a little tougher. Horace against Lambier. Shot clock at 5. Pippen steps free. Scotty's got 5 points in the game. The Bulls have withstood this early surge by Detroit. They're right in the contest at 10-7. even though the Bulls are 3 of 7 from the field and the Pistons are 5 of 6. And no layups by Detroit. Inside to Aguirre. Off to Edwards. He steps up, drops it for Lambier, and Pippen out with a steal. Scottie Pippen comes up on the drive, ahead to Horace for the dunk. Good feed by Pippen to Horace Grant. And the Bulls are within 1 with 8:18 left in the quarter.
Well, they got 1 layup, and then they got 4 long-distance shots by Dumars.
And now Dumars at the controls.
Oh, yeah.
The outside jumper, no good this time. Edwards the rebound. Turns in a crowd. Can't get it to go off the bank, and Cartwright clears as the Bulls look for the lead. Up court is Pippen. Outside left, Jordan. A 3 by Michael. Rims high. No good. Lambier the rebound. Isaiah Thomas up on the drive. Lobs it out to Aguirre. Lambier had it, lost it. Jordan a steal, and a foul on Dumars in the backcourt. Joe Dumars with the game's first personal foul. Good foul to take. He wanted to make sure Michael didn't get out into open court.
Well, I don't know if I'm glad he did that, because running down the court with him was Lambier step for step. Could have been a big tangle up here at the start of the game.
I have a feeling that wouldn't have lasted much past the timeline. I think Michael would have beaten Lambier to the hoop. Here's Pippen against Aguirre. Scotty working left of the key. Takes it all the way to the hoop. Couldn't get the finger roll to go down. And Lambier knocks it out of bounds, so the Bulls keep it. 7:26 left first quarter. 10-9 Detroit the lead. Bulls the ball as Scottie Pippen will trigger. Out to Paxson.
Triangles there.
Pax dancing left against Thomas. Grant breaks up and fires. Long rebound, Thomas. Pistons back in transition. Right corner shot, Joe Dumars. Yes, sir. JD is 5 of 6. And Detroit has a 12-9 lead. Michael Jordan against Dumars. Into Cartwright. Cartwright wheels on Edwards. Left baseline shot, but a foul called on James Edwards. On Edwards, that is his first. 2 team fouls. A timeout taken. 6:51 for the opening quarter. The Pistons lead the Bulls by 3. Back after these messages. On Monday afternoon, February 19th, the Bulls have the Houston Rockets in Chicago Stadium. That's a 12:30 game, and the first 10,000 fans receive a Lovable poster courtesy of Budweiser. Detroit with a 3-point lead. 6:51 left opening quarter. Bill Cartwright to shoot 2.
Yeah, they've got a 7-2 rebounding edge, but that's because the Pistons are 6 out of 9 from the field. Not many rebounds there, and the Bulls only 4 out of 11. So Bill Cartwright to the line, trying for his first 2 points.
Bill Cartwright had a free throw string going. He had hit, well, actually he hit 8 out of 9 at Milwaukee on Saturday night. Boy, shoots 2 blanks that time. The Pistons with it. Up 3. Isaiah Thomas runs the show. Paxson puts some pressure on him. Lambier throws over to Edwards. 6 on the clock. Edwards bangs in on Cartwright. Comes across the lane with a fadeaway shot.
He wants to go that way, doesn't he?
Every time.
He wants to go to the middle, and they let him go to the middle.
Detroit has run off.
Well, Bill didn't exactly let him go to the middle.
Pistons now with a 5-point lead, scoring the last 4. Here's Cartwright trying to return the favor on Edwards, and does.
Well, both of these guys physical players, and they're packing it in more and more on this end, Jim. Bill gets that ball. Isaiah runs by, takes a swipe at it, and if Bill brings it down, he'll be going the other way.
Open is Aguirre. And the Pistons go up 16-11. Mark Aguirre with his first 2. And now every Detroit starter has scored except Isaiah. Scottie Pippen can't get the bank, and here come the Pistons on the run. Isaiah through traffic had it knocked away. It's out of bounds to Detroit with 20 on the shot clock. Isaiah Thomas on that dribble that time went between Pippen and Jordan, 2 of the top 10 steals leaders in the NBA. Aguirre for 3.
Oh, boy.
And the Pistons have an 8-point lead, and they are shooting extremely well. 8 for 11, make it 9 for 12 from the field for Detroit.
11 for 35 from that distance for Mark Aguirre, and he's not been on a real shooting roll.
Detroit really not a good three-point shooting club. Here's Pax from the outside. And James Edwards collects the rebound, but knocked down Scottie Pippen in doing so and picks up a loose ball foul, his second.
So Chuck Daly is down at midcourt and said, wait a minute. He came down with the ball. How could that happen? It was one of those rebounds where you're going for the ball. You see Edwards standing. Now he blocks his man out, and he just lunges towards the ball in a collision. The smaller and lighter Scottie Pippen goes down, and now big John Sally comes in for James Edwards.
And now Phil Jackson changing his matchups. He's going to put Pippen on Aguirre, it looks like, and Horace will take Sally. Cartwright will take Lambier. Foul line extended. Pippen triggers to Paxson. Jordan open. Michael's got his first 2 points tonight. And the Detroit lead is 6.
Michael just took it right in the flow, too, didn't he?
Yep.
I mean, didn't look for anything that wasn't there. Had a 3 that went around and out.
Just about 5 minutes left, opening quarter. Isaiah finds Dumars. Dumars against Jordan. Turns through traffic, and he's fouled. On Paxson or Jordan, it's on Michael Jordan, the first foul of the game against the Bulls. So the Detroit defensive game plan tonight, where Michael Jordan is concerned, at least in the early going, is keep Michael Jordan busy defensively.
This is what Washington does with Jeff Malone. You know, when Michael takes him, they try to keep running Michael off screens, and Joe Dumars is the guy. And I wonder if they do that in the locker room, if they draw cards for that out of a hat, Jim, or the coach says, Isaiah, tonight will be your night. And he said, Joe, you look like you're on a roll. You take it for a while.
You know, you bring that up, but you brought up a good point earlier today. In the last 5 games, a different Detroit starter has led them in scoring.
Yeah. I mean, they are able to go to so many different weapons.
Here's Michael in on Dumars with his pull-up shot. And the rebound to Aguirre. The outlet stolen by Pippen. Scottie coming back, gives to Jordan. A 3 on the way. Michael Jordan drills the 3. So far tonight, $500 to charitables from True Value on 2 3-point field goals. And the Bulls are right there. They're only down 5 against a Piston team that's 9 of 12 from the field. Lambier. Pippen the rebound. Scottie on a hard drive all the way to the hoop. Has it blocked by Sally. Dumars has it. Detroit back in transition. Dumars from the outside. Whoa, he's on fire. Joe Dumars with 14. He is 6 for 7 from the field tonight.
Scottie's had 2 now. He's gone in for shots, had 2 of them blocked, as they really go as a team effort to the man taking the ball to the hole.
You got it. Here's Paxson getting open. And the rebound to Detroit. It was tipped out of bounds by the Bulls. 3:52 left to go in the opening quarter, and Detroit with a 7-point lead.
Detroit limits their opponents to 97 points a game, the best in the NBA. It's only a 5-point spread between what they get. Jim, the Bulls about the same thing. Joe Dumars.
Dumars has 16.
And so do the Bulls.
And the Bulls are taking time as Detroit goes up 9 with 3:32 left to go in the opening quarter. We'll return to the Palace after these messages. Joe Dumars leading an early barrage against the Bulls. Joe Dumars is 7 of 8 from the field, and he has scored in all shapes and sizes. He almost has his scoring average in the opening quarter. He's got 16 points in this quarter and averages 18.3. The Bulls come inbound to Jordan. Michael to the right, doubled up. Down low, Cartwright. They swarm him. Back out to Jordan. Shot clock at 12. And it goes to Cartwright. Now to Jordan. A right corner 3. Won't go. And Horace Grant the rebound. Off to Jordan. In on Lambier. Lays it up. Had it blocked. Michael down on the floor. Here come the Pistons back. Dumars picked up by Paxson this trip. Dumars chasing a loose ball in the corner. It's still loose, and the Bulls come out with it. Horace Grant ahead to Pippen. Scottie in on Lambier with a pull-up shot. Tip try won't go. Grant. Ball on the floor to Jordan, and Michael lays it in. Jordan's got 7. The Detroit lead is 7. What's the call? Ronnie Nunn talking with Bill Lambier about what?
I don't know. Phil jumped right in front of me when that happened. Whatever.
Pistons have it. Isaiah Thomas calls a play as he brings it up. Detroit up by 7. Inside, Lambier shoots it over Grant. Nope. Horace the rebound. Now the Pistons have missed a couple. Looks easy when you're 10 out of 14. Here's Jordan on the move. Draws a crowd. Cartwright was open briefly. They cover. Now Paxson into Grant quickly. Turnaround shot by Horace, and traveling is the call.
It wasn't there. You know, it just wasn't there from the start. Horace was looking for cutters.
Boy, these Pistons, they defend you. They defend you. They double in the post, and they still get out and cover your three-point shooting, your long-distance shooting.
That's why people shoot only 27% from the
Look at Isaiah on the drive. First 2 points for Thomas, and the Pistons back to a 9-point lead. You've got to move the ball crisply with the pass in the double team. Read the defense. Here's Grant from the foul line. Scottie Pippen has 7, and the Bulls stay within 7. Detroit goes over the top to Aguirre, and a missteal by Pippen leads to an easy basket by Mark Aguirre.
See, that's what you've got to do. You've got to have it so cleared out that that weak side can't get in there and help you. And that's what they did. They cleared it out, got it in Aguirre.
Here's Cartwright against Lambier. Turnaround shot won't go, but he drew the foul on Lambier. Nope, Isaiah reached in. That's his first. Now Stacey King ready to come in for the Bulls, and B.J. Armstrong is in for Paxson. It is a homecoming for B.J. Armstrong, who grew up in the Detroit area. Horace Grant out with Stacey King on, and Cartwright, who's 0 for 2 free throwing, gets 2 more.
You know what's funny, Jim, is you go through the season, you know that they get a chance to scout you, talk, and practice. Then comes that playoffs when you're going to play a team 7 times, and you just work against what you're going to see. He was in too quick. Stacey was in before they even shot it.
No free throw for Cartwright, even though it went in. Stacey King.
He was in before it even went out of his hand.
So now the Pistons the ball, leading by 8 and 1:30 left.
Bill gets a missed free throw in it? No, he doesn't. Doesn't even get an attempt.
Right. Dumars on the move, left, feeds to Thomas. Isaiah against Armstrong. Spins free and fires. Lambier the rebound, and a foul on Lambier as he cleared out Stacey King. First foul on Bill Lambier.
Little one-on-one move here by Isaiah. Off of B.J. Armstrong and Lambier on the inside, but he already had made the move to clear Stacey King out, and now Scott Hastings streaks off the bench. But the rookie will be down here to shoot free throws. Now, here's what he has a tough time. Jim, you and I talked about it in Milwaukee. Making the 2 free throws. He splits them a lot. He's got to get up there and knock and say, these are Friolas for me, babe.
In early November, when the Pistons were in Chicago Stadium, Hastings came in, and shortly thereafter, he and Stacey King were thrown out of the game. And it made one wonder what his purpose was of coming into the lineup.
Well, he did a good job. Played 7 minutes the other night against Patrick Ewing and defended him well. There's that split of a free throw by King we talked about.
And the Bulls as a team now are 2 of 5 from the foul line. Isaiah Thomas pressured by Armstrong. Bulls show half-court trap. Dumars gets it to Aguirre. 12 to shoot. Thomas in deep. Isaiah with 4. Pistons up 9. Michael Jordan looks at King and plays to Cartwright high. 12 to shoot. Armstrong left open. B.J. Armstrong can stick that open jumper. It's one of his real strengths. The Detroit lead is 7. 37 seconds left in the quarter. With a stop here and a conversion, the Bulls would be within 5 at the end of one.
Ice out, 3.
Dumars open. And off the ball, we get a foul called on Detroit.
Sally.
Yep. John Sally with his first. The Pistons over the limit.
An offensive foul, like setting a screen,
not a
Jimmy.
loose ball. Okay.
So we got 1 shot left here, I would think.
Shot clock at 18 and the big one at 20.
See, they want him to give it up. They want Michael to
They
give
sure
it up.
do. And Jordan does to Armstrong. Michael gets it right back. 10 on the shot clock. Jordan double teamed.
Get in.
Armstrong has it. 6 to shoot. BJ underneath to King. Knocked out of bounds. Detroit gets it. They've got 5.5 seconds left. Plenty of time. Here comes Isaiah on the drive. Wraparound dribble. 2 seconds. Aguirre for 3. And after 1, the Detroit lead is 7. 31-24. That's the score as we'll return to the Palace with second quarter action after these messages. Well, on Tuesday, 2 weeks from tonight, you better eat your Wheaties. The Pistons come into the stadium. Then on Monday, February 19th, Houston is in, and Budweiser has a lovable poster for the first 10,000. Detroit, the 7-point lead in the ball. Isaiah on the drive, all the way inside, kicks off to Dumars. Right corner shot. Wow. Joe Dumars has 18. He picks right up where he left off, and Detroit has a 9-point lead. Here's Jordan off penetration and a foul called on Thomas. Isaiah Thomas with his second. Michael Jordan to shoot 2.
We haven't seen Rodman yet. Here comes Vinnie Johnson. He's been nursing a bad left leg, Achilles, I guess it is, Jim. He played 5 minutes against the Knicks and didn't work out for him, so he stayed away.
Michael Jordan, who's nursing a slight knee injury, hits the first free throw.
The guy that's hitting the hoop stays in, eh?
Doesn't Joe Dumars ever get tired? You're right.
Can't just sit him down?
Right. It's a 7-point lead after the 2 free throws by Michael. Full court pressure here. Aguirre on ahead to Sally. They got it in good hands.
They can
there.
press them because Sally can't hit the outside shot long, and neither can Hastings long, you know.
It's 10 to shoot, though. Dumars against Armstrong. Joe Dumars misses one, and the rebound comes down to Pippen. The Bulls have a chance to cut it to 5. Inside Grant, back out Pippen. Jordan punches into King. Stacy with a shot on Hastings. All right. Stacy King with his first 2. Bulls 10 of 27 in the first quarter, and Detroit 14 of 21. Most of that was Dumars, who was 7 of 8. Bulls down 5. Aguirre nearly walks. Pippen a poke away. Aguirre on the recovery, 7 to shoot. Aguirre just throws it in. He felt the bump, and he just wanted to get the shot up, thinking he was fouled. Now Scottie Pippen, guarded by Aguirre. In it goes to King, and Stacy is fouled by Hastings. 2 shots for King.
Mark Aguirre leaves now, and in comes Dennis Rodman. Good move underneath. Stacy really didn't have anywhere to go with the shot, so he came back with his right hand. And I want to see this guy. Come on now. You had a split here. Let's get 2. Oh!
Now you better hope for a split.
Yeah. Boy, there's no quicker way to put points on your average and get fat than you can make some free throws.
Michael, the only guy who's gone to the line for the Bulls that hit both of them, is now King is 2 for 4. Stacy with 4 points, though. Rodman, who's in, as Johnny mentioned, makes the inbounds to Hastings. Now they throw on ahead to Vinnie Johnson. Shoots it over King. Look out.
Yeah, that's what you needed to get this guy off.
8-point lead for the Pistons. Scottie Pippen trying to find somebody in the post. Stacy King out high. Pippen has it, 10 to shoot. Now Jordan against Dumars. Outside jumper. And the rebound to Sally. Make it Rodman. Dumars has it now into the front court. Dumars inside. Stacy King clears. Throws on ahead to Jordan. Michael, good feed into Horace Grant, who gets the shot to drop. Horace with 6. Good punch-in look by Jordan. 6-point lead for Detroit, 9:43 left.
Well, I tell you, Horace watches Michael. He watches him wherever he is, and if other players might be alert like that. I mean, Horace picks up a lot of easy points, just going down the lane.
Vinnie Johnson runs the show this time for Detroit. Now they got Dumars posting against Armstrong. And they play to Dumars. He's doubled up. Horace Grant comes and gets hit with a reach-in foul. Grant with his first. That's only the second foul whistled against the Bulls in this game. Will Perdue is in, and Horace Grant is out.
Lane Beer is back in.
So Perdue matches up with Lane Beer. Here's Vinnie Johnson against Jordan. Outside jumper by Vinnie. Missing. Gets his own rebound, though. Back up under pressure. Yes, and a foul called. Will Perdue on the foul. Michael failed to check off, and Vinnie Johnson, he's so good at this.
How many times have we seen him take his shot and just go right at it? Now he draws so here's a guy we're shooting 50%. You give it to Will.
Misses the free throw, and Stacey King finally, lost the rebound out of bounds. From our end, and we're way down at the other end of the floor from where this action took place. It looked like Lane Beer was over his back going for the rebound. Sally off the inbounds to Vinnie Johnson. Open is Lane Beer. And the Detroit Pistons are out to a 10-point lead with 9:07 left. Scottie Pippen into Perdue. Perdue against Lane Beer. Outside shot Armstrong. And on the rebound, a loose ball foul on Rodman. He was holding Pippen away. Dennis Rodman with his first. 3 team fouls on Detroit. Craig Hodges will come on for the Bulls. Hodges coming in, and Michael Jordan going out with 8:55 left in the half, and the Bulls are down 10. Pippen inbounding to Armstrong. King against Sally. Armstrong with 16 to shoot. All the way in. Nice drive, and he drew the foul. Good dribble penetration by B.J. Armstrong. Sally on the foul, and B.J. to shoot 2.
B.J. taking that move down the lane. Went into some big traffic as Lane Beer now talks to Ronnie Nunn, but to no avail as he draws the foul. So now they're trying to match up again here. Aguirre comes in. They move Rodman down. Sally leaves.
They've got Gerald Henderson in the lineup for the first time, replacing Dumars. Chuck Daly feels when Michael Jordan is out of the game, that's when he'll rest Dumars. B.J. Armstrong, 83% free throw shooter. Gets the bounce on that first one. B.J. lately in a bit of a slump, shooting under 30% over the last 5 games. But overall, that's the one thing he's done consistently well for the Bulls in his rookie year is shoot. Hits both free throws. The Bulls are down 8. Rodman in the backcourt against pressure. Now Vinnie Johnson, guarded by Armstrong. Vinnie shoots over B.J. He gets his own rebound and then lost it as Pippen dug it out. Here comes Craig Hodges back. Beats Pippen on the break. The pull-up jumper. Scottie Pippen nicely done as he kissed it over Aguirre. It's a 6-point game. And again, it's the defensive activity of Scottie Pippen creating that turnover. Lane Beer open. And the rebound to King. Up court is Pippen. The Bulls have a chance to cut it to 4. Outside jumper. And the long rebound, Perdue saves. Good hustle by Will. Hodges was open. Now he burns to the hoop. Dumps for King. Long hook.
Yes, sir.
King.
Oh, I love it when he takes that one going to the middle, Jimmy.
The Bulls have run off 6 in a row and cut the Piston lead to 4 with 7:45 left in the half. And Chuck Daly takes time with 7:42 left. We got a good one going here in the Auburn Hills Palace as the Bulls are within 4. Chuck Daly and the Detroit Pistons have a 4-point lead over the Bulls here in the second quarter. Chuck Daly, who has moved into the top 20 all-time NBA coaches with 341 wins. And, of course, in the group that he's with there, he's got the best winning percentage of that bunch.
He's a good one. He's a good coach.
He
has some good talent, but that's tougher when you get good talent sometimes.
10 to shoot. Aguirre under double-team pressure. Now they swing it around. Vinnie Johnson gets free. Tried to dump for Aguirre and threw it away. You know, you can tell that a coach is doing a good job when his assistants are then hired when coaching.
Oh, absolutely.
Opportunities come up.
That's right. Ronnie Rothstein and Said a lot of them.
Yep. Will Perdue out high against Lambier. Armstrong for the outside. Rodman the rebound. Gerald Henderson on the push. Lambier, and it goes to Aguirre against Perdue. Aguirre wants this matchup. He's going to take him right to the hoop. Just what he did. Pulled Perdue out on the floor to make him come guard him so he could drive past him and get the running hook down. 6-point game.
Stacy wants it down low. I'd like to see him get it against Rodman. See what happens there.
Perdue looks in and throws it inside, but it's knocked out of bounds. Now the Bulls worked so hard getting that 10-point lead down to 4. And now Detroit has a chance to extend on the 6 with 6.5 minutes left in the half. Boy, some pick Lambier set on Armstrong, and Henderson sticks it. Cartwright ready to come back for the Bulls, who trail by 8. John Paxson also on his way to the scorer's table. Nice little stint here, though, by the Bulls rookies. Perdue from the outside. Boy, did it hit the rim. Anyway, it's taken out of there by Johnson. Detroit with a chance to go up 10 again. 6 minutes left in the half. Screen roll to a wide open Lambier, and it's a 10-point game. I'm sorry, there's got to be a better way to defend screen roll than that.
That's right.
Charles Davis in. Pippen is out. Paxson has returned for the Bulls. Bill Cartwright also in. Horace Grant with 9 to shoot in on Rodman. Horace shoots it right over Rodman. Horace did a good job moving the ball across the lane against that great leaper. And he got Rodman pinned to the floor and hit it.
This is not the building, but this is where Horace came of age in the playoffs, where the Bulls thought that they could move Oakley and get good play out of Horace and some scoring at him against his club.
That's a good point. It was not in last year's series, but
the year before. Right.
You're right. Rodman the rebound on the miss and lays it in. Only Hodges was left to check off on Rodman, and you've got to have a bigger player than that. Charles Davis. Lambier the rebound. Detroit the 10-point lead. Henderson with an alley-oop to Rodman. Lost it out of bounds, so the Bulls have it on the turnover.
It's a funny situation here. Mark Aguirre a year ago played, and the color commentator was Dick Mata, who's not a coach at Sacramento, and it must have been funny for him to have Mata talk about, well, now guess who's here? John McLeod is doing the color, another former coach of his.
From Dallas.
From Dallas, yeah.
Paxson. Grant open. Rebound Aguirre. I'll tell you one thing against Detroit. You will get one shot and one shot only. It's a good, solid defensive team.
If you want to stay to the outside, you know, that 15, 18-footer.
Here's Aguirre against Grant. Horace a partial block, but Rodman ended up with it, and then a foul call. On Hodges. On Hodges. CD. Our next telecast on Channel 9 tomorrow night from Market Square at 6:30. The Bulls and Pacers, a rematch of that buzzer beater that took the Bulls out back in early December when Chuck Person hit it. Now the starting guard line back in for Detroit, and Michael Jordan comes back for the Bulls to join John Paxson. Craig Hodges going out. 4:15 left to go. Detroit the ball up 10.
Stay up, boys.
Isaiah Thomas against Paxson. Aguirre against Grant. Aguirre underneath. He walked.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Horace doing a good job with him.
Flash, counter the ball.
And now the Bulls need to take advantage at the other end. Charles Davis. To Cartwright out high, and illegal defense against the Pistons. That's the first whistle of the night.
The Bulls seem to move the ball a little bit better perimeter-wise. Now, have you noticed that they're sort of standing and looking? Is it because the Pistons have adjusted to what the Bulls were doing, or is they just standing a little bit?
Paxson dancing outside. Jordan has to come way out to get it. Now into Horace Grant against Isaiah. They knock it away cleanly. The Bulls made a smart move, but Detroit, the good defensive team, covered up, and Aguirre has 13, and the Pistons have their biggest lead at 12. This is the Detroit Pistons, the way they won a championship last year. Pax with a 2-point goal. John Paxson's first 2 points tonight. Boy, they are so smart defensively, so sharp. They are really performing at peak efficiency for them. Aguirre squares up on Grant. Outside shot over Horace. Horace got a piece of that one. Loose ball which way? It goes the other way as the Bulls have it. Scottie Pippen ready to come back in. Chuck Daly always looks like he's so unhappy with his team and can't, woe is me, and yet they're up 10.
It's the new suit. He doesn't like it. It's a little tight in the shoulder.
Pippen back in. Davis is out. Off his bench tonight, Phil Jackson got production from the 2 rooks, King and Armstrong. They've scored 10 between them. That's a good sign. Horace Grant was down low. Now they look to him, play out to Pippen instead. Right corner Jordan, a 3 by Michael. Boy, he had time to line up David Stern's autograph. Now Paxson will launch the 3. Jordan the rebound, shoots, and Lambier the block. Detroit on the run. Thomas on the burn. Gets covered up. Now takes Paxson baseline. Left corner shot, Joe Dumars. Yeah. Dumars has 20. Detroit has a 12-point lead. Cartwright gets it into Grant. Turnaround shot. Long rebound. Horace cuts it off. Back out to Paxson. 53-41 Pistons. Shot clock at 16. Scottie Pippen on the drive. Lost the handle. Aguirre loses the ball to Pippen.
Got to get it up.
Yep, 8 to shoot. Pippen for 3. Rebound Thomas. Up court Dumars. He finishes it off. 22 for Joe Dumars. Detroit up 14.
They turned it up a notch. Jim, the defense.
Boy, the Pistons looking good, and the Bulls take a 20. The Palace is buzzing with 1:35 left in the half. 55-41. It all started on Michael's shot being blocked by Lambier on an offensive rebound. One of the few offensive rebounds the Bulls have been able to muster.
3 is missed outside by Pax, and Lambier with a good block, and here right it keyed it. Isaiah came down and peeled off into the corner and then found his man way over on the other side. He penetrated under, kicked it out in the corner, and Dumars did the rest.
Joe Dumars is 10 out of 13. And the Detroit Pistons lead by 14 with 1:35 left in the half. Let's see what the Bulls have off the out-of-bounds play. An alley-oop to Jordan. Nicely done. Michael Jordan has 11. Thomas around the screen of Rodman. Tries to hand it off to Rodman, and it's turned over. You know, if Detroit isn't shooting exceptionally well, they've got big problems tonight.
That's right. They're turning the ball over pretty good.
Jordan again. Off to Cartwright. Open shot from the right. And Lambier another rebound.
The Bulls shoot poorly in this building. I know there's good defense here, but they just, I don't know if it's a bad place to shoot.
Jordan a pull-up shot on Lambier, and the long rebound. Michael tried for the tip, and Horace sticks it in. Horace Grant with 10. I think Michael's knee.
Technical. What happened? Daly fell down. He came running out and went down. He came running out. Oh, man. That'll make all the highlight films this year if they got that one. Technical foul. Michael shoots the tee.
He wanted a loose ball foul on Jordan, I think, going for that tip.
Michael, it looked like, came over the top to tap that ball over to Horace. Michael misses the technical. Jordan took the shot from the outside, missed it, came in hard, tapped it over Dumars. That was a foul, and he came running out to half court. And when he got there, those new Italian heels, leather, hit that floor, and
boy, Isaiah giving ground against the trap. Now he throws across to Rodman. Rodman finds Lambier. 37 seconds left in the half. Isaiah against Paxson, 14 to shoot. Inside pass loose, but Dumars has it. Spins free of Jordan. Reverse layup. What a shot by Dumars. He's got 24. Detroit a 14-point lead. The Bulls play for one. Seconds. Out of bounds for the Bulls with 1.7 seconds left in the half.
They try to throw it in right to Michael underneath. And Dumars says, Bill, I need some help here. Well, they're going to move over to the side now.
As it went over the top of the backboard, out of bounds. Scottie Pippen.
You got to shoot it up right now.
Lobs for Paxson, and Rodman a steal. An 80-footer up. Wide left. Boy, the Pistons looking good through the first 24 minutes. They turn down the screws on the Bulls, and they're in command. 59-45 at halftime. Joe Dumars really dominating that matchup tonight with Michael Jordan. Dumars 11 for 15 from the field. Jordan 4 of 12. And Detroit has it as the second half begins. James Edwards, who was very quiet in the first half, didn't see a lot of minutes. Shot clock at 10. Inside, an offensive foul call on Edwards. On Joe Dumars. That's his second.
When they're so cautious with that ball on the outside, you know something's going to happen. You better start looking. If there's people standing next to you, you better be aware that that ball's coming in your area.
Paxson looks in for Cartwright. Gets bumped from behind by Edwards. Grant on to Pippen. Back to Jordan. 7 to shoot. Michael Jordan over Dumars. Nope. Not there tonight for Michael. He's really struggling with his game. Here is a foul on Paxson. And it's a shooting foul because Isaiah threw it up on the glass when he heard the whistle blow.
Danny Crawford turns around. Phil says, where was he going? He had nowhere to go. Pax had him shut off.
Danny Crawford does want to hear it. Shakes his head. And Isaiah Thomas shoots 2. Detroit has a 15-point lead, its biggest. Isaiah on a bit of a run over the last 3 games. Misses the second one. Pippen corrals the rebound. Scotty down the lane. Dumps the ball off to Grant. Knocked away, but Pippen puts it in. So Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen tonight, the 2 most active players for the Bulls, and the Detroit lead is 13 with 11 minutes left in the third. And now a foul called on Pippen off the ball, guarding Lambeer. His first. 2 team fouls. Mark Aguirre looks to make the inbounds pass into Thomas. His shot no good, but a foul on Paxson.
So Pax picks up 2 fouls real quick here, and Isaiah shooting on both of them. That time he come off a screen and just to reach in. So that's a 3rd team foul on the Bulls.
Isaiah makes the first of 2. He hits them both, and the Pistons have the 15-point lead. Bulls swinging around the perimeter, and Paxson takes the open shot. Rebound, Jordan. Back outside Pippen. Scotty steps up. Paxson open again. And that one's good. That's good that Pax didn't hesitate. He missed the first one, but delivered on the next one. Dumars has it knocked out of bounds by Jordan. Good play by Michael Jordan.
Well, they come right back at you. Why do they come back, don't they?
Oh, they do.
The ball is through the net, and here they come. And Joe Dumars gets a swat. Now the ball is kicked.
Now they'll
by Pippen.
Get a new 24 seconds. Scotty's saying he didn't kick it with his foot. They hit it with his hand. But anyway, on the side and a new 24 for the Pistons. Here's Thomas against Paxson. Plays into Edwards against Cartwright. Edwards turns back. Oh, man. This has got another wrinkle. Detroit the 15-point lead. Here's Cartwright in on Edwards. And a foul on James Edwards. His third.
You know, it's funny, the first half it went the same way. When Edwards made a move on one end, Cartwright made it on the other. Now Edwards makes the move here, makes the basket. Bill comes back and draws 2 free throws. But the last time Bill did that, he missed those first 2 free throws. He made the third one, and then King stepped in the lane, and he didn't get credit for the other one. So.
And he's short with the first one. Cartwright splits him again. The Detroit lead is 14. 10 minutes left for the third. Full court pressure here by the Bulls. Aguirre throws ahead to Edwards. Now Dumars has it. Back into Edwards. Shoots over Cartwright. Michael Jordan out with a rebound. Jordan into the front court. Punches ahead to Grant, and Horace gets the finger roll. Horace Grant with 12. The Detroit lead is 12. And the crowd in the Palace somewhat quiet starting the third, starting to make some noise. Here's Edwards. Shooting out of the post. It's blocked by Grant. Shot clock at 3, 2, 1. They get it away at the buzzer. And Pippen the rebound. Lambeer knocks it loose, but Scotty controls. So the Bulls come up with a defensive stop that time. Now Michael Jordan against Dumars. Good pass inside, but it's tipped away. Grant gets the loose ball. Can't get the bounce, and a loose ball foul on the Bulls.
Got Dave.
Pippen with his second. 14 fouls on the Bulls here in the third.
It's a kind of a game, Jimmy, that any one, Scotty comes over the top here of Aguirre, that any little surge by the Bulls, it puts them right back in the game.
Yep. Aguirre looks in, trying to find the open man down low. Now works the perimeter with 7 to shoot. Throws into Edwards. Edwards doubled up, and a reach-in foul on Pippen. Scottie Pippen with his third, and Phil Jackson unhappy with the work of Dan Crawford here in the third quarter. That's 5 team fouls on the Bulls with 8:44 left. James Edwards, a 70% free throw shooter, shooting 2.
Well, you're so used to watching the Bulls and Pistons play with a lot of slam bang action, and it's been a lot of reaching action. Here's one guy that has just not been able to conquer that free throw.
Edwards gets a split. The Detroit lead is 13. Pippen on the drive against Aguirre. Now Jordan from the outside. Aguirre the rebound. Thomas a bouncer on to Edwards. Stay with him. Edwards gets free. Michael Jordan the rebound. Jordan lost it off the dribble. It hit the foot of Scottie Pippen. And here is Edwards inside.
Beautiful play. The steal. And then Dumars takes it down behind the back pass, and Edwards crams it. Back and over.
And back. Bulls on a careless turnover. Their minds aren't in this game.
No.
Michael lost that ball on the dribble, but what it did, the bounce looked like it hit Scotty on the heel. Detroit the ball with a 15-point lead. So far, one team has come ready to play tonight. Dumars off the fadeaway. Yeah. JD's got 26. And the Detroit Pistons have their biggest lead as Phil Jackson takes a 20. With 7:45 left in the third. It is 69-52 Detroit.
Well, it's really cost them the mental errors, Jimmy.
Well, it's interesting that we see this sign here because when the Pistons come into the stadium, Wheaties will have miniature boxes for all those in attendance on January 23rd. We do. We have a full timeout. 7:45 left to go here in the third, and Detroit up 17. John Paxson spotting up from the perimeter. John Paxson with 6. And the Detroit lead is 15 this trip. 7.5 minutes remaining in the third. Here's Aguirre in the post against Grant. And it's one-on-one, no double team. Now Aguirre comes out to Thomas. Edwards against Cartwright, and off the ball, a whistle.
Horace Grant.
Yep. His second. The Bulls over the limit here. And Detroit is on the free throw line in the person of Mark Aguirre. Folks, if you're celebrating a special occasion for $100 donation to Charitables, you can have a birthday or anniversary message on the scoreboard at a Bulls game. For a $1,000 contribution, you can give a youngster the opportunity to serve as an honorary ball person at a Bulls game. Call the Bulls office, 312-945-800, and ask for information on that. Aguirre has the split. 14 points for Mark Aguirre. And Detroit has a 16-point lead. Horace Grant holding out front. Paxson has it now, looking in. 10 to shoot. Cartwright against Edwards. Spins back with a long hook. And the rebound to Mark Aguirre. Joe Dumars on the move. Outside shot over Jordan. Partially blocked maybe by Michael. It's cleared by Grant at any rate.
Down.
70-54 Pistons. 6:40 left in the third. Here's Cartwright in the low post against Edwards. A lot of contact. No foul. No bucket either. And Detroit the rebound. Aguirre is open. Off the drive. Lambier for 3. Horace Grant outlets to Paxson. Detroit has misfired the last 3 times, but the Bulls do not take advantage as they likewise do not score in 3 straight possessions. And it all plays into the Pistons' hands as they lead by 16 with 6:05 left in the third. Aguirre wheels in on Grant. Tough shot by Mark Aguirre.
There's only one player for the Bulls shooting 50%. He's really shooting 1,000. Stacey King, 2 for 2.
John Paxson from the outside. Cartwright against Lambier. Foul on Lambier. Cartwright to shoot 2.
That's a good picture that they have here, Jim.
While Cartwright goes to the free throw line, let's pause for station identification.
Catch all the excitement of Chicago Bulls basketball on KLJB TV, Davenport.
Bill Cartwright, who is 2 for 5 tonight from the foul line, is now 2 for 6.
You know what I was going to allude to is the caricatures they've got walking around here. That one looks like Lambier. He's got his mouth circled into a donut thing like, oh, I didn't touch anybody. And it's, you see that reaction when they call his number on a foul.
Bill Cartwright again splits the free throws. 5 points for Cartwright. Detroit in front by 17. Bulls had extended the defense, but the Pistons get it in the front court no problem, and Lambier is left wide open. Detroit by 19.
It's supposed to be a team that's hurting, isn't it?
Yeah, but I can see the one that's hurting out there right now. Jordan missing from the outside. Armstrong has it. The Bulls are just not mentally into this game. Look at this. Detroit all over them defensively, and they force the Bulls into a turnover. The Pistons have it. Here's Aguirre over Grant. Wow. 18 for Mark Aguirre. The Pistons are up by 21.
They gave that assist to Isaiah Thomas. Aguirre dribbled the ball up from half court, went in and shot the ball.
Well, Rodman got 5 rebounds in the first half. I only remember 2. Scottie Pippen on the kiss. 13 points for Pippen. It is 76-57 Pistons. Inside pass, Jordan knocked it away. Armstrong out with a loose ball. The Bulls in transition. One of the few opportunities tonight, and Scotty again off the bank. 15 for Pippen. The Detroit lead is 17 with 4:25 remaining. Dumars runs the show. Dumars plays to Lambier in the lane. His shot under pressure. Bank no good. Pippen clears it. Up court, Armstrong. Long shot by B.J. Armstrong.
Boy, nobody there.
Bulls with 6 turnovers here in the third quarter, and that doesn't take into account the bad shot selection the Bulls have had as well. Isaiah gets free. Jordan the rebound. Again, the Pistons are in a cold spell, so it behooves the Bulls to be patient, get a good shot here. Pippen from the outside. Everything coming from the outside.
Yeah. Even the ones he made were from the outside, off the glass on each side.
Stacey King will come back for the Bulls in a minute. It's a 17-point lead for Detroit. Left corner shot. Dumars missing. Armstrong the rebound. B.J. nearly turned it over. Michael Jordan doubled up. Armstrong left open. Pippen wide open. Short again. Looked like a replay of the last trip. Isaiah down with no numbers. Takes it anyway. Detroit by 21. 2:51 left. It's a 19-point lead, I should say. 78-59 Pistons here in the third quarter. We'll be back after these messages. A sellout crowd in the Palace. And, of course, every time the Bulls play in Chicago Stadium, it's a packed house. You can add your name to that season ticket waiting list by calling the Bulls office 312-943-5800. The Detroit Pistons with a 19-point lead and 2:47 left in the third. Charles Davis in the lineup for the Bulls. Horace Grant against Sally. 8 to shoot. 5 on the clock. Here's Davis losing the ball out of bounds. Last touch by Sally.
No call at all.
But wait, it was last touch by Sally. It hit Sally before it went out.
And there was a collision, wasn't there?
There was something. Phil Jackson with a quizzical look on his face.
Jordan 4 for 15. He had 11 at halftime. He's still got 11.
And here's Dumars taking Armstrong down into the post, and a foul on Armstrong out on the floor. The first on Armstrong, and Joe Dumars shoots 2. They came after Michael Jordan, and it left Davis free. And now there is contact here with Sally, and the ball hits him and goes out of bounds to Detroit.
A, was it a foul?
B, did it hit Sally before it went out of bounds?
3, did it not happen?
None of the above.
Joe Dumars was a free throw.
And Detroit leads it by 20. Dumars hits them both. Well, the Bulls were the red flag in front of the Detroit Pistons tonight. The red cape.
Well, they won 5. They've won 5 in a row.
That's true. They have been playing better, but I don't think they can play any better than they played in this game. They're up 21 with 2 minutes left in the third. Jordan against Dumars. They send a posse. Michael wheels in low left. Out to Armstrong. Back into Jordan. Good play. That's it. Return quickly. And B.J. with a nice look inside. Right back to Michael. You know, stuff like that you don't see enough of. They can't double Michael Jordan when they gets rid of the ball. So if you come right back to him, he'll usually be free. Here's Dumars with a shot under double team pressure. Kicked away, and Michael Jordan out with it. Armstrong steps up all the way inside. How about that? How about B.J. Armstrong on the reverse? 6 points for the Rook, playing here in front of the home fans. And the Detroit lead is 17.
They get a tendency to feel the guys from the home, worrying with the college, and that's not necessarily true. People remember him playing in Iowa.
Right.
But he came out of this area.
10 on the shot clock. King against Edwards. And Aguirre goes over Davis and knocks it out of bounds. Aguirre pinned Charles Davis to the floor and then knocked it out of bounds. But it's simply out of bounds, and so Armstrong brings it up. A hoop makes it a 15-point game. What is that saying? You've got to crawl before you can walk. Charles Davis misses the three. And Aguirre corrals the loose ball. Detroit the ball, shot clock at 18. About 14 difference. Dumars against Armstrong.
They're getting stingier each quarter.
Dumars shot under double team pressure. Block. Grant clears it ahead to Jordan. Michael on the break. First 2 points of the second half for Jordan. He's got 13. And now it's the Bulls who have run off 6 in a row, and a 15-point Detroit lead up there with 17 seconds left in the third. Joe Dumars feeds it inside to Sally. Tipped off of him by Charles Davis. But it stays with Detroit with 6.3 seconds left. A timeout taken. If we have an opportunity, maybe we could look at that play. Would it appear that Charles Davis had knocked it off of Sally before it went out of bounds?
Yeah, I thought so, Jim. I thought he did knock it out. But they put together a little scoring here. B.J. Armstrong giving that ball back to Michael for a little quick jumper, and then Michael with the slam cuts it down here to 15. So with 6.3 seconds to go, I sure would like to see him get at least one more hoop.
Washington trying to halt the losing streak, leading the Knicks by 10 at the half. New Jersey up 11 at the half against Boston. And Charlotte has come back to take the lead on the Clippers in the second quarter, while Miami is trying to surprise San Antonio at halftime. Detroit has it in play. Dumars over the top into Aguirre. Off to Vinnie Johnson. Vinnie Johnson. With 0.9 of a second left. Armstrong not aware of the clock. Dribbles it out without an attempt. And so at the end of 3, Detroit leads by 17. 82-65. Dennis Rodman is on for the Pistons. They've got Lambier, Sally, Johnson, and Thomas out there. The Bulls bring it down with Armstrong, Jordan, Grant, Davis, and King. Michael Jordan swarmed under, dumps it into Horace Grant. His shot is blocked. Rodman out with it. Now to Thomas. On ahead to Sally, and they throw it away.
Boy, about 3 guys had a shot at the block.
Boy, what a defensive play by the Pistons. Not only did they close the door on Jordan, but when Michael got the ball to Horace Grant, they still snuffed him. Look at that. 4 Pistons in there.
That's you have active athletes, you know.
That's right. Here's a bounce pass kicked by the Pistons. The Bulls get a new 24.
There are players in the league, and then there are athletes, guys that react to situations. A ball thrown behind them or thrown a little low, or they see things, they can react to it. And that's what they've got in Sally, Rodman, Vinnie Johnson, and Isaiah.
And what the Pistons are proving is, in this day and age, you win with athletes. Here is Jordan. Doubled up. Fires it inside anyway, and Rodman the steal, and now they come out on the run to Vinnie Johnson. Isaiah Thomas against Armstrong. Isaiah wants him one-on-one. Six to shoot. Wide open Lambier. Long rebound, Vinnie Johnson, but a loose ball foul. Sally went over the back of Horace Grant.
Been a tough game for Sally, Jim. His 3rd foul, and he sat on the bench for quite a while, and he gives Danny Crawford a look.
Well, you know what's disheartening against this Detroit club when you're down 17? As you mentioned, it's been a steady slide for the Bulls since 24 in the first quarter. Here's King off the drive. Nice play by Stacy. Bulls scored 24 the first quarter, 21 the second, 20 the third. That's the way the Pistons can do it to you. They put you to sleep with a rock-solid defense. There's a 3-second call here against Detroit. So the Bulls have it on the Piston turnover. Delay of game warning against Detroit.
Their defense slows it down enough, you know.
Right.
They take the high pace
King looks in over Lambier, tries to hand to Davis. It should be a loose ball foul on Charles Davis. It doesn't matter. The Bulls have turned it over. Charles Davis held Rodman away, and no foul was called. Chasing the loose ball.
That's right. He put
See
the
him
left
hold him
arm,
off?
Yeah, put the left arm out.
Boy, the Bulls got a break, but they lose the ball anyway. And so Detroit with a 15-point lead and 10 minutes left. Vinnie Johnson kicks it out of bounds, or he would have had his own rebound again.
Boy, he shoots and runs right after him. A lot of guys shoot that jumper and fall back, but Vinnie goes right to the hoop.
Armstrong at the controls for the Bulls, who are down 15. But Detroit, a tough club to run off a few against. Here's King against Lambier. He bumps him, no call.
He made the hoop.
He hits it.
It's 5 for 5, or what, 4 for 4.
He's got 10 points in the game, but that should have been an offensive foul.
That's
that appeared
right.
from this end. He lifted Lambier with his shoulder. On screen roll, Lambier is fouled. And again, the Bulls fail to defend on basketball's most basic play. Michael Jordan on the foul, his second.
Good move. Beautiful pass from Isaiah. You're right, Jim. That one is Dr. Naismith, I think, said when they didn't have enough guys to put 5 on the side, said, hey,
let's run the pick and roll, right?
Yeah.
So a 3-point play by Lambier, and Detroit has an 85-69 lead. 9:25 left to go. Illegal defense against the Pistons. It's the technical foul this time. Scottie Pippen returning to the lineup.
Technical foul.
Charles Davis will leave. Michael Jordan to shoot the tee.
He missed the first technical.
Michael with only 15 points tonight.
Now, the first technical he missed was Chuck Daly, wasn't it?
Right, when he fell down. Michael knocks that one in. Nope, it's Pippen for Jordan with 9:21 left, and Detroit a 15-point lead. Phil Jackson is going to play it by ear right now. He's going to say, if we get back in the game, Michael comes back. If not, that's it for the night. Here's Armstrong. Armstrong steps free of Thomas.
He got hit, too.
He did, no call.
He spun him right around.
Rodman has the rebound. Now Phil Jackson wants a technical, but Danny Crawford won't look at him. Inside of 9 minutes left. So he goes out and he pleads with Nice. He's out on the floor and can't get a technical. Here's Isaiah over Armstrong. Rebound, Sally.
There's travel.
Walking. Isaiah traveled trying to make his cut in on Armstrong. 8:41 left and Detroit up 15. Boy, this game has been the Pistons at their arrogant, confident best. Huh? This is what the Pistons are all about. That's why they win. Charles Davis. King. Loose ball to Davis.
You know why he's getting along so well, King, is he's playing like the Pistons.
That's right. 10 on the shot clock.
Go get it up. Oh,
yep, they read the play, and Isaiah on the steal. Runs over Armstrong. Offensive foul on Isaiah Thomas. You know, how about the rookie stepping out and taking the charge on the veteran?
You know, Isaiah's had a little problem with it. He's trying to take advantage of B.J. Armstrong. Armstrong spreads out, takes the play pretty good.
Good job,
not
BJ.
Not that he can't beat him on a regular basis, but it's just one of those things when you try to do something, Jim, you make it a point to go out of your way to do it. It's not in the flow. It doesn't work too well.
I know one thing, Reg. There's been a lot of activity at both ends of the floor lately and no points.
Yeah.
There's two. Horace has 14. The Detroit lead is 13. But now 7:39 remaining. Will Perdue ready to come on for the Bulls. Vinnie Johnson finds Isaiah. Lambier the rebound, and a foul called. He'll shoot 2. Foul is on Davis.
Charles Davis.
Charles Davis on it.
Horace Grant is out. Will Perdue is in. And again, I will repeat myself. Should the Bulls get back in the game, Horace and Michael will return. Should they not, they're done for the evening, I would imagine.
All right. Here's a guy that's shooting lights out. Another big man. We ran into one in Milwaukee in Sigma, who is a great free throw shooter. And Lambeer the same.
Yeah, he's at 87%. Has the first one. That's 14 points for Lambeer.
A lot of action on the line, and he had 2 free throws.
Bill Lambeer from the field over the last 7 games at 53%. Detroit, by the way, is in an easier part of their schedule from a travel standpoint. A lot of home games now, but man, they played like they were on the road for their first 18 and out of 29 games.
Well, they're 9-9. The Bulls are 8-9, so not too much different.
Here's Pippen off the drive, finds Armstrong, and BJ launches it. Rodman.
Whoa!
Look at Rodman. Still after the loose ball, and hopefully he's not injured as he went way over the scorer's table down there.
He just went over Joe Falls, one of the writers there, and Falls hasn't seen that kind of action since, Bronco Nagurski, who just passed away.
Maybe so.
The shot was missed on the side and was tipped up, and Rodman saw it and just kept going. And I want to tell you something.
Oh,
Greg
man.
Louganis would have been proud of that one. He just dove right over the top, and he's getting himself up there and getting back in gear. Oh, man. That's the kind of hustle that this guy has got.
Boy, that's what makes the Pistons so tough. They contest everything. Aren't you glad we're not down there during the game?
You're doggone right. I wouldn't be around.
Davis is out of the lineup now.
I remember the
Hodges is in.
one player that didn't play like that, and the coach said he doesn't know the word quit, and somebody said, yeah, there's a lot of words he doesn't know. You play like that.
What do we got? 3 second call on Will Perdue. One of the Detroit writers, one of the reporters here, shaken up on that play as Rodman went well over the scorer's table, the press table after that ball. A timeout taken, 6:58 left for the game, and it's Detroit 87, the Bulls 72. Jim Durham of Johnny Kerr back in the Palace in Auburn Hills. And we understand that was the Detroit beat writer, Johnny Red.
Yeah, Drew Sharp. And he drew a bead on him, didn't he?
Oh, man, Dennis Rodman.
He's still there.
Drew Sharp shaken up on the play, as they say. Detroit goes into Edwards, his shot over Perdue, and a foul on Perdue. 2 fouls on Perdue. Well, the Bulls rookie Stacey King and B.J. Armstrong delivering off the bench tonight. 16 points. But against a deep, talented veteran club like Detroit, it takes more than a couple. Edwards has 8. Dumars back in, and Vinnie Johnson is limping to the bench.
Yeah, he must have re-injured that Achilles that he had, that left calf muscle, and down into the Achilles.
89-72 Pistons. Stacey King.
Ooh, he lost him too. He gave a good move.
He didn't realize he had a free path to the hoop. Here's Perdue. Back into Perdue. A shot on Edwards. Rodman picks off the rebound. When Rodman's out there, nobody else gets very many. Will Perdue, good job. Open to the ball and saw it coming in over his shoulder. And Pippen over Rodman. Perdue and a tip in.
How'd it go, Will?
89-74. Inside of 6 minutes remaining. Unless the Bulls can mount a miracle comeback, the Pistons will go up by a game in the Central. Scottie Pippen literally takes down Rodman, and Dennis Rodman says, I know. You just wanted me on the foul line. 4 fouls on Pippen.
They hollered, watch the pick, watch the screen. Isaiah went down and set the screen. And as They left Rodman open. Scotty came down and he tried to catch him, I guess, to keep him from going down. But Rodman knocks that free throw in and draws this crowd right back into the game.
Rodman, a 65% free throw shooter. There's his foot on the line. 91-74. .point lead for Detroit. Hodges outside. Only a 2. Well, the Detroit Pistons with a 15-point lead.
See, they hold their guys to 97 points a game, Jim, and they're right on target.
Rodman in the lane. Boy, Dennis Rodman went right into all that activity. Still hit the shot. Stacey King runs into Sally. Offensive foul. And now Gerald Henderson coming in. Don't forget, Bullseye, the official newspaper of the Bulls, can be yours for $30, 20 issues. You can charge it on your Visa or MasterCard by calling 1-800-255-9500 extension FAN. Well, if there's a silver lining in this game, Johnny Reds, it's the fact that Phil Jackson has at least been able to utilize his bench to eat some minutes and save some players for tomorrow. Here's Edwards. Foul on Rodman. He held Pippen at bay, and Dennis Rodman has his second foul. 4:50 remaining. That's only the second team foul. 21,454. The fans in the aisleways here in the Palace. And Jeff Sanders strolls to the scorer's table. Here's King. Tip dunk.
Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty Pipp with 17 points tonight. Sanders will be coming for him. 4:25 left. Detroit up 15.
King making some good moves, Jim, even though he missed that. He made a spin, went to the middle. He got to take those shots.
Vinnie Johnson's back in. They're going to come away with a loose ball here, but not if BJ can help it. A good hustle by BJ
Scotty got
Armstrong.
really hammered in that nose of his.
Excuse me?
He did. He got really wailed on.
Here is Armstrong at the controls. Purdue with 10 to shoot against Sally. Pippen against Rodman. 3 on the clock. Scotty drops it for Purdue. And Sally has the rebound. 3:45 left. Bulls need to take a foul just to get Sanders into the game. Now it's isolation city here for Detroit.
The game is really slowed down, isn't it?
Edwards against Purdue. Edwards fade away. Purdue the rebound. 3:25 left. Hastings ready to come on for the Pistons. B.J. Armstrong under pressure. Hits the shot and no foul called. Armstrong has 8. The Detroit lead is 13 with 3:15 left. Pistons with a pass kicked by Purdue, and now Sanders will come in. Hastings will come in. Scottie Pippen goes out. Pippen leaves with 17 points in the game. Rodman looks to inbound. Here comes his play to Henderson. 3 minutes left. Here's Vinnie Johnson. Off to Hastings for the open shot. Hastings' first 2 points tonight. Sally hasn't scored yet for the Pistons.
Hey, I get a kick out of Scott Hastings. He's the guy that said...
Look at King.
Yeah, he's the guy that said...
Detroit was also looking at King. Man, did they collapse on him.
Said he's often mentioned in the same sentence as
Larry Bird.
As Larry Bird, he says that Scott Hastings. He's no Larry Bird.
Not to be confused with Larry Bird. And a nice feed inside to Purdue. Armstrong on the delivery. 2:23 left.
The Bulls aren't even going to get to that 97 that the Pistons are holding their opponents to. So real.
Well, the last
Good
time
job.
out, the Bulls scored 117 against the Pistons in Chicago Stadium and winning by 3. Here's Vinnie Johnson under double team pressure. Hastings open. Now Sanders covers on him. 4 to shoot. Boy, Hastings, nice pass into Rodman. Hastings with 8. Craig Hodges off to Purdue. Knock loose. Armstrong ends up with it. Hodges sidesteps Johnson. Launches the three. Craig Hodges hits the three. The Bulls on 3 3-point field goals tonight. It is a 12-point lead for the Detroit Pistons. The final score, though, will be no indication of how the Pistons dominated this contest. They did what they wanted. They really executed well. There's an offensive foul. Sanders taking the charge on Sally. Sally with his fourth. Timeout taken by the Bulls with 1:26 left. And we'll return to Auburn Hills. It is 97-85 Detroit. Back after these messages. On February 23rd, the Portland Trailblazers are in the stadium. Every fan will receive a team poster courtesy of Osco Drug. On Tuesday, February 27th, the Bulls face the Milwaukee Bucks, and the first 10,000 fans receive a school folder courtesy of the Dairy Council of Wisconsin. Minute 18 left.
Offensive
foul, and the Bulls will Purdue. Detroit the ball up 12. So the Detroit Pistons will square up the season series with the Bulls. Bulls will drop to 8-10 on the road. Henderson. Vinnie Johnson. Shot clock at 5. Henderson. That's what he can do for this team. Can stick those threes, and Henderson has 5. He came into the game 6 of 10 from three-point country. And there's Hodges answering the threes. It's 100-88. 42 seconds left. Sally comes across against King. Phil Jackson encouraging his team to compete right to the end. Shot clock at 10. 30 on the big one. Vinnie Johnson open. Dumps it for Sally. And the rebound is out of bounds to the Bulls with 23 seconds left. On ahead to Hodges. And a foul call. Their first in the last 2 minutes. It's on Gerald Henderson. So the Bulls will throw in with 20.2 seconds left. Trailing by 12. Sanders flips to Armstrong. Armstrong turning on the dribble. Oh, man. Tough move. E.J. Armstrong with 10. And the lead for Detroit is 10. And that's going to be the final verdict tonight. In the Palace at Auburn Hills, the Detroit Pistons take over first place in the NBA Central, knocking the Bulls into second place by 1 game. As Detroit wins this one coast to coast. Defeating the Bulls by 10. The final score, Detroit 100, the Bulls 90.